You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's The Game After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's The Game After Show.
Woo! There's our applause. Hello, everybody, and welcome to AfterBuzz TV, The Game Edition. And we have a full house tonight for the first time in like a month and a half, I think.
Come on fighting.
Across the table today for me, we have the lovely Isabel Mora.
Hi.
Sitting next to her in Carolina Blue, we've got Curtis Taylor. The lovely Curtis Taylor. He's not wearing a hat, so we can see his eyes.
Right.
So all you ladies can see how lovely he is.
I have a question. Where the hell you been? I have had the hard pressure
He's had to try to be
of
straight.
holding down the fort.
He's had to be straight.
For the male species.
Any of the other shows?
Yes,
They're
I have.
always
I heard you guys
out.
speak. Yeah, you guys say. I wonder what Curtis would say in this situation.
Yes.
As Curtis, I would say this. You know, I've heard Kenny.
Kenny was heterosexual for a
Tried.
couple of episodes. He tried.
How does it feel?
He said he jumped off the boat or whatever he said 2 weeks ago. He said that's why you jumped off the ship because you couldn't deal with women.
Because I couldn't figure it out.
See?
And next
It's
to
very
me,
difficult.
obviously, it's Kenny Harrison. I myself am Courtney Stewart, and I'm so glad you all are out there joining us. Again, call in, tweet us, do your thing. We love our input, and we've been getting some great calls in the last few weeks. So
And
keep
Courtney,
joining us.
before you jump in there, just a
Yes.
reminder, iTunes comments, the rates, we love that on our iTunes page. You know, we work hard for you guys here at the Game After Show, so we just want you to do the same thing back as our iTunes listeners.
Definitely,
that-
and
what
that
was
would
that
be
voice
Ronnie in the booth.
Okay.
Rocking out in the booth. I like what you guys bring to the table, but yes, Curtis, we did miss you, but Kenny held it down, I must say.
Thank you.
Yes.
Go ahead, Kenny.
There's no buts
Go
with
ahead,
that.
Kenny.
Kenny held it down.
But Kenny Hill.
He made it happen.
Thank
He
you,
made it
brother.
happen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
You owe me one.
All right, so let's jump into the episode this week. And as we do normally, we go around the table and see initial impressions and feelings about the episode. Let's start with Isabel. What you got?
I liked it a lot. I laughed out loud a lot. I enjoyed it. I was glad that, I don't know if I was, well, I might want to take that back. I'm not sure if I was okay with them being separated, but they each had their own storyline, which we haven't seen that in a while. So I liked it.
You were good. What about you, Curtis?
I mean, I absolutely loved it. I mean, sometimes they do have to separate and have
Right.
separate storylines. Me personally, it felt like the game of old. It felt like this game, which I don't understand why this is still up.
Because I haven't sent the new picture.
Okay.
And
okay.
I sort of get nostalgic when I see that one
When you see
and
that
always hope
family.
that the episode will continue to bring back the love that I once had. And it's there. And one day Kelly will be back. This is our like channeling.
No, she won't. She's not coming back.
We're channeling Kelly to come back. Well, heck, we don't even know if
At
Kelly's
this
coming
point,
back.
yeah,
so
really.
who knows? How'd you
It'll be
feel,
back.
Kenny?
It'll be back.
It was okay. It was okay.
Is it okay because you're half asleep right now, or because it actually was
I
just
had a long
okay?
day. Had a long day. No,
How
but
are you? Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Excuses.
I'm waking up slowly but surely. I've had
Okay,
a
so
long
we'll have
day.
to go to you third every time we're talking to
Yeah.
give you some time to rev up because our listeners don't want to hear your
just-
somber, sad
Just
pitifulness.
nudge me when
You're supposed to be like the attractive, vibrant gay man on the panel, and you're being the slovenly. Wow.
I'm not gay.
He's not out yet.
He's
my
straight
bad.
now.
He's straight. Anyway, I thought the episode was great.
Really?
I did. I thought it was funny. I thought it kept pace. I thought that I didn't get bored at any point, and I haven't been able to say that about any episode so far. Like there was no point that I was like, oh God, is it almost
through, yeah.
okay? So it was good, and I thought the two storylines that they kind of came up with
Yeah.
were
Great.
right on point
They
and
were
good,
great,
and
yeah.
they were funny. They handled them well. So good stuff. Let's start off with Miss Tasha Mack. So her storyline with Malik. They're at home chilling in
Yeah.
their hotel, and she finds out that he's about to get a library named after him back in Richmond, which
Yeah.
is home base.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to go because he has a big old ego and is embarrassed and doesn't want to go back. But they do go back. They see their family, and they have interesting interaction with Grandma and Pookie or Boonkie. What was his name?
Pookie.
Did y'all catch his name?
Pookie. It was Pookie.
Was it Pookie?
Yeah, and it's
Yes.
good to see Loretta Devine on the game.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
That's another like 2 thumbs up for a
absolutely.
guest star.
Absolutely.
Not a random one that is uncomfortable and weird. That was a great one.
yeah,
I
she
love
was in the flow. She was great.
Okay, so I'm a little confused. They went. Was that party planned?
her. No,
No.
they surprised him.
It was a surprise
Yeah,
party.
see, the
Family
condition
surprised
the
him.
condition was that he wouldn't go back unless Tasha saw her mother,
So-
which they had
Right.
her mother. You
They
know,
had beef.
Right.
You didn't see
I'm
the
sorry.
show, did you?
I did.
You didn't.
No, I did. But here's my so and I saw the argument. You know, she was upset about Tasha getting pregnant at 15. I got that, but wasn't she a teen mom too?
Well, that was her point.
Yeah,
she
she
didn't
wanted
break
to-
the
She
cycle.
didn't break-
Tasha was
Yeah, she
supposed
wanted
be
to break the
different.
curse.
Well, I mean, you can't get. She was a little irate, and I love Loretta Devine. I thought she was a great casting choice as well. But
You think she was too angry?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an
What
angry
for?
picture.
You
Well,
know.
she's angry
she
because...
looked like Celie.
But you
from
gotta
Curl Up
understand
Her-
it. Oh, wow.
Oh, in
Oh, we
that
made that-
picture or like on the episode?
Well, no, the episode was fine. I thought she looked good.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Now, okay, and then here's my other question. They live in the hood still? The mom
It's
still
not
live in
the
the
hood.
Yeah, it is.
It is not the hood. It was the...
What part of Atlanta was that, by the way?
That wasn't Atlanta. They were in Richmond.
He didn't watch the show.
I-
He didn't watch the show. I didn't.
I did watch the
No, you know
show.
what, you
He
saw
said
it?
where it was filmed.
He saw
I-
it. No, he
He's
saw it, but he
asking where it
wasn't
was
present.
filmed.
He wasn't present.
I wasn't present.
present.
No. I was there.
Kenny.
Whatever.
Like
Clearly
my
was.
sex life.
Anyway, she
Okay.
bought her mama a house.
Sometimes.
I love that the whole conversation sounds like
See, I-
because the kids
I-
are asleep.
And I'm just like
That's a hard thing
worried
right
to
there.
jump in here.
Well, because that was hard. You know, that was. Kenny, you don't do that
What was
ever
hard?
again.
Don't do
I
that.
mean, I'm an actor,
Ooh,
and
he's-
my imagination, like when you said the sex thing, I had to go there, and
Go
that was
where?
kind
I'm
of.
sorry, what sex thing?
Exactly.
Yeah, he
Only
said-
Curtis heard it.
They,
No, he
they
said-
only
he said-
heard it.
Well, then you must repeat it because
It
that
must
means
have
our
included
listeners may
cows or
not. So
something.
you guys
No, he
can't
said-
have
he
private
said-
conversations.
Okay, yeah, they're
Well,
having their own conversation.
No, he said,
Yes.
no, he said, well, like my sex life, it happens.
I was
but I'm not
present. I'm present sometimes.
No, he said,
Oh.
I'm
My
just not
sex life.
present.
So
And,
that's
so
what
I
that
went
comment.
visual, and I can see him.
And
Not
he's,
being
and he's
present
scarred.
during sex.
And he's scarred.
Yeah, and I'm scarred.
All right, so what happened with Tasha?
That
You did see the color
was
purple, right?
ridiculous. Okay. Anyway,
All right,
so
Because he made the comment about her looking like.
picture.
yeah. Well, she
And
does.
then the color purple, and he laid on top of me, he did his business. You know, you
Why
remember
are we still talking about
that? Okay,
this?
all right. I'm sorry.
I don't
God. Okay, anyway, so Tasha went back. Loretta Devine's her mom. They obviously
Welcome back,
have
Curtis.
girl conflict.
Tears are coming to my eyes for no reason.
And
Our
you're
systems
snorting.
detect that a host has wandered off the subject.
Not the host.
Please return at once.
The co-host across the
Yeah.
table. It's
I'm
crazy.
sorry.
It's Curtis making it about himself.
All right.
But
Today.
I like how they handled the actual relationship. You said she was a little irate, but I think it was very honest about
Yes.
some mother-daughter relationships. Like, you be at odds for no reason,
Yeah.
for reasons of doing the
Right.
same thing mom did and
Yeah.
not able to forgive. But then when you're gone, she brags about you like
Yeah.
everything is
Right.
fantastic. But in your face, it's like, why you so fat? Why you ain't wearing this? You don't have on enough makeup. Do your hair. Do
Yeah.
Typical black family.
But is
Typical
that,
black
but
family.
is that really
No, I
typical?
don't think
Yeah,
that's typical
absolutely.
black
No,
No, I don't
family.
think it's typical of black families. I think it's typical of mother-daughter
Mother-daughter
relationships.
Well, I guess I wouldn't
relationship.
know. I guess I wouldn't know that because I'm only black.
You're only black.
Yeah.
You weren't raised white.
No, so I can only speak
Okay.
on what I know.
Or Mexican.
So it's a
I
typical
think
black family for me.
That's typical mother and daughter
Is that what it
Yeah,
relationship.
I think
Okay.
so. Do you feel like your mom highly
Yes.
Do you think it's
criticizes
just
you?
mother and daughter?
I'm sure it's father and son. I just
No.
think it's a knit relationship where, I don't know.
Do you
what
guys
is
think
No,
that?
my
Father-
mother.
are
My mother gives
father-son
me a hard. No,
relationships?
my mother gives me a hard time. But I do know behind my back she brags upon.
Do you
What
have a
about your
sister?
dad?
I do. I have 4 sisters and
Is she
one brother.
equally as hard on them, or is
no,
it different?
the bad ones. The bad ones.
There's
just like
bad ones.
no, yeah, there's bad
We
ones.
aren't talking about Curtis's family.
He's the bad one.
No,
Now I can trash
No,
Curtis
no,
because
that-
he left me hanging for
No,
a couple weeks.
the bad ones. It seems like it's kind of weird in an African American family when the kids are bad, they get treated a lot better, and then when the kids are good, they kind of get.
But see,
know what I'm saying?
that's I think that's in most families.
Yeah,
It's
Is it?
because
kinda
they try
like-
to pull in the
Yes.
ones that are doing bad, and like me, I'm not saying I'm the good child because neither of my
But it's
sisters
the
are bad.
responsible
But the
child.
responsible one, like I'm the
They
forgotten
forget us.
child.
Yes.
So
Were you the middle child?
I was also the middle child.
So was I.
See, I wasn't the middle child.
Yeah.
But I still
Well,
was.
I'm the eldest.
I'm
but
like
I
the
still
best.
get
I'm the
forgotten.
favorite now. Hi, mom. I'm the
That's
favorite
probably
child
because you're single.
What makes you think you're the favorite now?
because I take care of my mom. I talk to her, and she appreciates me more. I think.
Wait,
Oh.
what do you consider taking care of your mom?
I make sure that.
Because if I may remind you, I remind you to call her.
Oh no.
Oh, wow. See, mom didn't even know that. Now you gonna.
Did you call your mom?
Oh, wow.
Did you text her? Oh
Wow.
no.
I'm gonna call her right now.
Sorry,
like,
Mrs.
oh,
Harrison.
Let her know.
No, I you know.
It's all Isabel.
I the whole mother daughter. I don't see it so much with father son. I
don't either.
I never grew up with my father, so I wouldn't know. But
Me
I'm
neither.
just
Me
saying.
neither, so.
I you know, as far as like relationships wise, I think it's a little. I thought it was a little over dramatic.
Yeah, that's probably why we don't see it though, because
Your
Well,
dudes.
I think
no,
maybe
we don't grow up with our fathers mostly.
you don't
Right.
think dads get over it.
That
Faster
from
than
what
moms.
no, but from what I see with my friends, their dads are just like okay, whatever.
Cool.
Yeah,
They watch
they
TV.
get, that's why I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
they get over it. You know,
I think
and
that's men in
moms-
general.
yeah, I think
They
my
don't
dad
have-
just doesn't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
We're simple in that regard.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that's true. I mean, whenever something happens in our family, my dad's always like, "Okay, next."
Yeah,
my
like, you
mom's
okay
still
now? You're
at
okay
it.
now?
It seems
So,
like we've
yeah.
had this conversation about women in general, and this
Holding
falls
on to
underneath
things
that
and then-
umbrella.
yeah,
does.
So that's why the conflict is so strong. Oh,
He's
well.
not gay anymore. He's starting to see like heterosexual.
No, I'm just
I think
women are.
he's just,
No, he just has
women
to have
are
women.
what?
Go ahead and say it.
No,
Join
Women
our
are
force.
what?
nothing.
Did you say join our force?
No, I said join the force.
Oh Lord have mercy. You ain't
Well,
got
no, say
force.
speak on it. Speak on it, Kenny.
Move on to
already discussed
testosterone.
that.
We've already discussed families are families.
Yes.
Seems across the board, across the colors, whatever.
And
the
women
mother-daughter
are-
relationships are challenging sometimes, and that was very well
women are
Do you
handled.
think that it gets worse as you get older? Like in
Well,
this
in
situation? Because Tasha's in her 40s. I'm assuming grandma was
We
supposed
mean
to
the
be.
relationship?
Yeah.
I would think that because, well, at least I'm not a female, but I would think it gets better. You would think. Because she no longer has to
But it
really
seemed like
worry about it.
In
'cause she
this,
can-
but in this instance, it seems like it's been going on.
But that's
for
because she's not
years.
married and she can't seem to keep a man. So
She
all
kept talking
those
about Rick
things.
Fox.
was
Rick
so
Fox.
That was
funny.
hilarious. The Rick
Yeah.
Fox. She done run off Rick Fox. He was on Dance with the Stars longer.
Long with you. I'm like, wow.
That was great.
That was funny.
Very good job, writers. I thought that was quite funny. But I don't know if it gets better or worse in general. But I would say that until you're like married with kids and like away, like it's not right. Because as long as you're not married or you're not, there's something you're not doing right.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Was that his dad?
No, why do you guys keep asking that?
I
Everybody's
thought-
I thought
asking
they
if
look
his dad.
alike.
No.
And I forgot,
You
'cause
guys don't
we-
remember his dad? Chauncey is his
That's
dad.
what I was thinking. I was like, once again, that was years ago. And I was
Chauncey
like,
is
Yeah, but-
wealthy and
well, you know.
lives in Atlanta with his new
Okay.
wife and children.
Oh.
Yes. Chauncey is doing very well in life.
because it
Cookie
seemed like she
candy.
made a comment as to like them two being together.
I
right?
feel like he
Figure
was
out-
like they're maybe because at first I thought it was a brother, but then at
Right.
the end it was like obviously
That
not a
your
brother.
mom.
So I'm thinking they maybe were
Dating
on the
and
block
everything.
at some
Yeah.
point, and she messed around with Chauncey and ended up pregnant, and it didn't work out. Maybe he went to jail, but he's always kind of been around,
Yeah.
the friend,
He became the family friend.
the family friend.
in the
So
hood.
Yeah.
it was cute though. They had a nice little interaction.
Kenny, they're not
He's
in
like
the
all
hood.
the successful people and they still got mama in the hood. She probably
She's
didn't want to give
not
up the
in
house.
hood.
She probably didn't want to give up the
But,
house.
but you know how there's like levels of the hood. It's like she's not in the projects, but she in
Yeah.
her neighborhood
Yeah.
where she would want to
Yeah.
say like, there. My
And-
grandma
and-
wouldn't
and-
leave her house.
Right.
Exactly.
she
And
don't
what she
wanna
did is
leave.
she paid.
She bought the house,
bought the house
renovated it,
and renovated
right.
and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
my grandma wasn't gonna leave her
Yeah.
house just because we made her come up. She
Yep.
liked her house. So anyway, good job, guys. I like that story. We did
Yes.
good. Can't wait to see more next week. And next we have Melanie and Derwin and their family.
Wake me up when
Yes.
when this conversation is over.
Why were you
I'm
like
bored.
that? It was
Bored. It was
Why?
so
I thought for the first
It was
time
fun.
they had like
interesting. It
Why
was
was
so
it-
boring.
why was
It
it
was.
boring?
First of all, I felt. You remember Martin? He reminded me of
Brother
Bro
Man.
Man from
Man,
Fifth Flow. And I was like, wait.
that's funny though,
That's
man.
what it
That's
was
but it was,
funny.
I didn't.
That's funny. You can't say it. I mean, that was funny because
And
that's
he
the
had
same
good
thing.
jokes. Like it was.
He
the
was.
same
He
thing.
had the actor. I don't know who he was. He had good comedic
Yeah.
timing.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was just so boring.
Why
We've
what?
seen it
Funny.
before.
Okay,
and her
well,
eavesdropping on them.
Hello, that's TV. That's TV and that's movies. Everything is being.
sitcom.
And that's her.
That's what we've been complaining about.
Everything has been redone. I mean, freaking Titanic. They're going to bring the same thing back out in 3D or something like that. It's the same thing. I mean, that's just the way movies are. You've seen it before. You've done it
Did
before.
the boat make it?
It was funny.
The boat did not make it.
It was funny, and it was funny that she turned on him and was like, "Yeah, you all want to keep it real and whatnot. Going to the club, going to Bulletproof."
I think I'm a little.
Which I thought was shady, but.
How was that shady?
Well, I mean, at first I thought it was shady.
Oh,
No, because I did. Because she told him. She was like, go ahead and throw me under the bus. You can use me as, the reason. And then when he did use the reason, she listened to it. All of a sudden she jumps in and says, hey,
But
he wasn't like.
No, because she wanted it to be done her way. And he did it his way. And she got offended by it.
And this is
Well,
an
he
ongoing thing. And it's
disrespected
boring.
her.
You said what?
I felt like he didn't have to say all that to get rid of him.
I mean, but sometimes at the same time when you're talking about men, we kind of like at the end of it, we still gotta
Be a man.
Yeah, you still gotta be a
But
man
this is
about it. You're not gonna be like, oh, my wife says you gotta go and you gotta go.
This is no longer
See,
your girlfriend.
I
This
know,
is
but
your
that's not
wife.
how- but you gotta
I
understand.
can't have you in my house if you don't want to
Nah, but see, we still gotta say. You gotta understand. This is what we do. We still gotta be men.
There's a male code of honor.
Yeah, and he's gotta save face. See what she wanted him to do. She wanted him to go up there with his tail tucked between his legs and say, my wife told me that you gotta go, and so you gotta go.
She didn't want him to do it like that. She just
I
wanted him to
actually
say,
agree with
hey, my wife is a little uncomfortable with you. There's some things you're doing around the house.
Yeah, but
maybe
that's
we
soft,
can put you
though.
up
That's
in a
soft to
hotel.
a man. The thing is when you deal with men, you got to deal with a masculine. We have masculinity. So the bottom line, masculinity.
That's what y'all call it.
We still live in a world where men are supposed to be the head of the
Yeah,
household.
absolutely.
Okay, but that just means you're supposed to pay the rent and pay the bills. That don't mean you
No,
run nothing
but
up in
you
the
know
house.
what? But
We all know
you're
that.
supposed to be the king of the castle.
Absolutely.
You're supposed to make the decisions.
Absolutely.
You're not supposed to let the woman.
Yes, you're supposed
Fine,
to pay the
fine,
mortgage,
fine.
buy the groceries,
Are you
pay the
kidding me?
electricity, and everything else down in the house. You
Wow.
ain't got nothing to say about it.
Fine, Kenny. Then he makes the decision of you can't be
Wow.
here coming from me.
No, he didn't make the decision. She
America-
made the decision.
You hear how women think. Women think that we're just.
Mind you,
go.
this is stuff that has, these are paying the bills. That's like old school, and it still resonates with this,
Hey, I never
Partly, but
denied
it's
that I have a
but it's-
traditional mind.
No. But
Okay?
it's
which
part,
will never go away.
A traditional
But it's
relationship.
partly, like-
I'm not angry at that.
It's partly. It's one of those things where she wants him to change the oil, but she still wants to be the one driving the car.
I don't want to drive the car. Hell, if you want to
If
drive me, you can drive me wherever the hell you
it's
want.
Okay. Yeah, drop me off, pick me up.
But you
I am
want to
happy
be,
to have a
But you
chauffeur.
want to be in control of
Yeah, she wanna
all
be in
the
control.
situations,
In
and you
control
want
of what?
You want him to still be a gentleman, but you have given up all your
Oh my what?
womanly qualities.
Wow.
What?
How have I
Hold
given
up.
up all my womanly quality?
I mean, do you wash the dishes?
Yes, I wash the dishes.
You iron my clothes?
I will iron, but you probably don't want me to.
See, there you go. You can't cook.
I can cook. Don't get it
here
twisted.
we
I
go.
cook all the
She
time.
can cook.
and they're back, ladies and gentlemen.
Anyway,
The feud is back.
I'm mad that because I don't iron, that makes me give up
Well,
my
because
No,
here's
but
the
womanly
deal.
quality.
No,
okay.
here's the deal.
But here's what
What?
First of all, I have a problem. What is so big? What is so wrong about him staying there? I mean, what's the big deal?
Because they're bougie.
Okay, so he leaves the knife in the peanut butter.
No. Wait,
Obviously,
those,
she
those
was
were
being-
small. Yeah,
Go
those
ahead.
were small things.
Obviously,
and
she was
then
being
we
anal.
found out that in reality, she knew he wouldn't want him there either. You didn't
Is that
get
what he wanted? I mean,
once they were together in the bathroom, he's throwing it in his face. This is why I don't call you. This is why I don't hang out with you.
Yes, because you're a
Bigger-
troublemaker.
Yeah.
Your ghetto-ness is not just, you don't rinse
this
off
was
a
just
knife.
filler for me, so I really don't care. To be perfectly honest with you.
This is just
I
filler
thought
for
it
me.
was.
really
I
don't
thought there was
care.
the very beginning was funny when he was at the window. That was funny. I was just every time that came on,
Well, you just feel
Nah.
like, do you feel like
Felt like
Melanie
a
should have
sleep.
just given him a little more
just
rope?
over her. and
Why are you
her.
so
Oh
over
my
her?
God,
I
Kenny.
like her.
I'm
It's
over
the time
your
of the
ass
month.
right now.
This is the time of the month. That's all men have.
Oh, okay.
We have.
He's had it for a month. Can you come back?
His is
Come
an
back.
end. Bring it back.
I got jokes.
He had it for a month.
Oh, well.
I thought
Oh,
it was
well.
hilarious when they were in the club. That they both were in the. I thought that was funny.
The broom
As
closet.
Yeah,
soon
the
as they
broom
called
closet
it bulletproof, I was like,
Yeah.
really? Are you going to go there?
They're providing you.
And that was
with
the
best.
hardest, like bulletproof. Like that was hilarious to me.
Hey, he
I
was
mean,
trying to make his 16 grand.
yeah, bulletproof.
That's amazing. Oh, well.
Then he had honorary
Melanie.
bulletproof vest. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like they're
And he's
providing
supposed to be
you
his
They had
bodyguard. He was
cute
sitting in
moments.
yeah, it was hilarious.
They had cute moments, and I'm so sad.
on,
Look at you,
Kenny.
Kenny. You look like a
Yeah,
sad
he's over it. He's over
puppy.
it. He's over it. I get it.
It
I-
was funny.
I don't
I
get
thought it was
it.
hilarious. I had a good time. And I'm sure the listeners, they got it as
I'm
well.
sure they got it and enjoyed
the
it
ratings
and
are
thought
gonna
it was
show.
fantastic. So, on that note, we're going to run to a commercial break, and then we will be back.
Absolutely.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
What do you want to
Yeah, it is
buzz
sexual.
about? That is very sexual. Welcome
Back.
back.
Go in the bathroom, huh?
There's all kind of like bass moaning on our microphones right now. Welcome back, AfterBuzz TV The Game edition. We're in our special segment section, which I would like to discuss. It might be very brief because Kenny doesn't care about anything. But who knows? It might turn into something amazing.
Curtis
I'm
is
here.
here.
I'm present.
Are you present? Are you
I'm
sure?
definitely
Are you
present.
alert?
I'm
Okay.
present.
I want to know, and I don't know if it's I am
scared to
a
hear the
black
question.
woman, so I can only speak from my experience with my peoples
Absolutely.
and what I've observed from other peoples.
And Courtney, as a reminder, we could open up the conversation to the phones too, which is
Absolutely.
You want to do the number? Or you want me to do it?
You do the number.
All right.
424. I got this.
Oh, he's
424.
awake.
He's alive. He's alive.
I got this.
I'm
Call
just
it in.
kidding.
What is it, Kenny? Give him some.
424-256-1729.
Oh.
424-256-1729.
And those of you that don't know what 17 is, it's 1729. Great. Okay. So
We have some illiterate.
Well, you know,
like
we've been having our callers from Chicago, so
Chicago's been our
they've
spot.
been representing. So
And we
Oh,
had
look at that.
Maryland for a little while,
Yeah,
but
so-
Chicago's been our spot, and I love Chicago.
yeah,
Shout out to Chicago, Northwestern.
so call us.
Absolutely. I'm from the Midwest myself.
Anyway, so the topic this week I would like to discuss is what's the deal with the whole, I don't know if it crosses racial boundaries, but amongst brown people, black people, this whole keeping it real and being bougie is a bad thing. Why the hell is being bougie a bad thing? I consider that I've been called bougie regularly, and I'm not offended by that shit.
Oh, wait, I have a question.
Not at all.
You sound
you
pretty
really-
offended.
Are you really asking that question? You make fun of me all the time.
I make fun of you because you do evil things.
No, you make fun of me because she'll be meeting my peeps and say, "How come you don't wear this? How come you don't act
Well,
this
I
way?" And I'm like,
asked. I asked you about people in White Socks over the weekend because I was afraid because there was a lot and I didn't know if there was
The White
something
Sox.
going
Were they
on.
pulled- were the socks
Yo,
pulled up?
but it was a lot.
Did they have on Dickies?
All like the
they was
long
gang
short.
members.
Well, that's what I said. That's why I
Them
asked.
the
I
cholos
was
right
like,
there. Them the
do I need
cholos.
to
I was
leave
like,
because I don't know.
Did
But
the
see,
girls
that's
have
not-
chokers?
I didn't see many of the girls. I saw it was mostly little boys and guys.
she knows
Yeah, those are
she knows the
cholos. You know
drill.
they were
Sharpie
cholos.
eyebrows out.
But
that
what
has
I'm
nothing to do
saying,
with being bougie,
But
though.
what I'm saying is that I feel like we give people flack for being bougie.
Right.
What's
Because
the
bougie-
First of
problem?
all, let's define
And this whole like, let's keep
Exactly,
it real.
exactly. Let's
Okay,
define
define it. What is the definition exactly?
Go ahead. You can go
No,
first.
I didn't.
Okay,
I'm
well, bougie.
asking the question.
Do
Bougie.
you consider
All right,
yourself bougie, Kenny?
Well, I'll tell you.
You
I'll
don't
tell
consider yourself
No.
bougie at all? Are you
No.
sure?
Kenny,
I am not bougie.
Well, I'll
Do
tell
you think it's
Yeah, you
offensive?
don't wanna-
No, I want to know what is your definition.
What is your definition,
Well, 'cause
Curtis?
see, bougie-
Because I heard you in the screening room. She's so
comments,
bougie. She
yeah.
is.
Okay,
You
well,
were
I'm
definitely
about to tell you,
commenting.
I'm
Go
about to
ahead.
get- Okay, bougie for me is not so much as what you wear; it's a state of mind. It's about how you treat people. And the thing is that keeping it real is not bougie. But bougie is like when you're like, let's put it this way. The majority of African Americans in America, we were birthed through slavery. Our people, our ancestors were birthed through slavery. So I'm
anxiously awaiting for this.
We come from a poverty situation where we had nothing. So therefore, to get to a place where you have something and then you forget that you've come from nothing and you start to act as if you don't remember where the nothing place was is bougie to me.
Okay, so in slavery, there was this thing where the light-skinned African Americans, they worked in the house, and the darker ones, they worked in the field.
Not all the time, but yeah.
Okay, so is that considered like because you're in the house, you're considered you're bougie? You're one of the bougie slaves?
I think in that situation, they did feel like, I mean, because they called them house, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So they did feel that was a sort of being bougie at the time, because the people that, when you worked in the house, it wasn't so much that all of them weren't considered house
servants,
ninjas.
No, ninjas, house ninjas. It was just the ones that when they got into the house and they started working the house, they acted as if the people in the field, they acted as if the people in the field were less than them. So then you become bougie. It's not so much as where you dress or how you dress or the location of where you live. It's how you act once you get to that particular position.
So what does it mean when you're acting a certain way? Like, okay, I live in Beverly Hills and I dress like Courtney, and
not if you live in Maryland.
Well, then you go. Well, here's the but I'll tell you.
Is it the way that I am around, like the way I view other people that are less?
Absolutely. It's the way you view people. Because there's people that live in Beverly Hills. There's people that live in Beverly Hills that can sit here and have a conversation with anyone, and you won't even know that they're wealthy. But then there's people that live in Beverly Hills that they won't have a conversation with you at all because they feel like you're beneath them.
Well, there's a difference in fronting and being bougie.
Yeah.
Because fronting is you're giving the illusion that you have all this stuff,
but
and you ain't got
shit. You didn't hear what I said.
That's what I thought you just said.
No. I said there's people that live in Beverly Hills that can have a conversation with anyone, and then there's people in Beverly Hills that won't talk to you because they feel like you're beneath them. So that's the bougie. The bougie is when if you reach a certain level of income or status, and then you feel like we can't have a conversation, no matter how intellectual you are, because you haven't achieved, or because you don't live in the same area code or zip code for that matter that I do. We can't talk.
Now why?
And that's bougie.
Well, here's my question: why is it this? When it relates to African Americans, to the African American community, why is it such a big deal?
Because the majority of African American people come from the hood first. We're pretty much, the majority of us are self-made. We don't come into money. We're not born into heir. We don't have heirs, and there's not legacies and legacies of wealth in the majority of African American homes. So we all pretty much, the majority of us have come from the neighborhood or come from the hood. So to forget that you come from the hood and don't talk to someone who is in the hood, then you become bougie, because now you're saying, I didn't come from there, when you know good and well your name used to be Pookie, and now you're Harold the Third when you're Pookie. I know you as Pookie, but because you got a couple of degrees behind your belt and you change your zip code, now you act as if you can't say, hey, what's up, man? How are you doing?
But aren't there some friends for seasons in life and not for others?
I agree.
Because I see that, and even if you take it back to the game, for instance, what Melanie was doing was not, I'm not going to talk to him. It's like, I don't want to bring that into my house and into my space, because I know more of what that, it's not just about him, he's a friend from the hood, because we all, obviously Derwin's family is probably not from the upper middle class like her family was, so she is obviously like sociable and talking to them, but to be like, I'm not going to that club, or
does she? You remember when Derwin and her family got together, they had disagreements? You don't remember that?
Of course they had disagreements, but that's because they're from different places. But you're just saying that you've classified her as bougie, and her behavior isn't, I'm too good to talk to that person. It's, no, I'm at a place in my life, I'm not dealing with this shit in my house, and I don't want to be associated with that. What's wrong with that?
It wasn't that she didn't want to be associated with with a human being, she didn't want to be associated with him. The guy didn't come in. It wasn't like he came in there toting a pistol and saying, "Hey, yo."
might
First
as
of all,
well.
he's like
No,
knocking
he
on the
didn't.
back door.
Yeah,
he's
he
very,
might as well.
But here's the
He
thing.
said
he's
I
very
called.
suspicious.
Well,
He said I
and I
called
can
and
use
no
that
one-
safely right now.
I called and no one picked
No,
up.
I understand. I understand the
Who
fact
does that?
I understand the fact that he came to the back door and she didn't even know he was coming.
She didn't know who he was.
But Derwin knew who he was and in that he was coming.
You would think that he would have told her.
And you think it's a
Yeah,
coincidence
that's-
she didn't know anything
But
about
no,
this
yeah,
guy?
but that's-
Exactly.
But that's the real problem. That's the real problem with between her and Derwin. But we're talking about
don't
being
come-
bougie or not. The fact that he came to her house and he explained who he was, she should have opened her arms, opened up with open arms and say, "Look."
I don't buy that.
I do.
No.
It wasn't like he was toting a gun.
How long have they dated and she's never heard?
Yeah, but it
about
wasn't. But
this guy?
Derwin explained to her who he was. But it wasn't like he was toting a gun. He didn't come in like, "Yo, what's up?" Click, and put his gun on the table.
Shooting me is not the
Well,
only
I didn't say he
danger
shot.
that
I didn't
or
say he shot.
problem.
But I'm saying he didn't put no guns on the table. There was no drugs or anything. He just came from a different. He just spoke differently than she did because he grew up differently than she did.
I don't buy that.
I do. I buy it. I
either.
buy it completely.
That's like, I grew up in South Carolina in like the country, and like I moved here, I went to college, and now I see people, and I hope I'm not offending any of my friends that I went to high school with, but I still see some of these people, and I'm just like, and it's not like I'm bougie. It's just that is not my world anymore.
Absolutely, it's not
I
your
am
world
not. I tend to believe that I never was like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not.
and you were.
But I'm not trying to
You
be.
were.
But I'm not trying to
No.
be bougie. I'm very polite when they make comments on my Facebook page.
No, he was like that because here's
Here's the thing. Also, I think in life people evolve, so I would love to
Thank
hear.
you.
I'd love to hear what Curtis thinks about that. But also,
Right.
our phone lines, are going crazy.
No one knows. Huh?
Everyone's got an opinion, so
Everyone's gonna be angry. Like, oh, y'all bougie up and down.
let's find out who really is bougie.
No.
Let's go.
That's it.
I'm going to sleep.
I hope they give it to y'all.
You know, they might say.
Well, hey.
Hey.
Is
Hello,
anybody
hello.
Oh, are we?
Hello.
Hey. Hey.
Hi, caller.
Hello.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi. This is Curtis from Chicago.
Hi, Curtis.
Hi,
Curtis?
Chicago.
Curtis from Chicago.
We spoke to Curtis last week, I think.
Yeah, you did. Basically, I want to agree with everything Curtis has said about bougie in the background of
My man.
slavery and wherever you got that from. I'm from Chicago, and basically, bougie from Chicago is when someone succeed in life and move away from the ghetto, of that quote-unquote ghetto, and they become a different person. And a lot of people from Chicago like to say, "Oh, you bougie because you don't come back to Chicago." No, that's not it. Because some people like to change their life, and some people like to, change their life and change their situation. Right. And a lot of black people, stereotype everyone because they moved up or became the Jeffersons, if you want to call that, and they take what they personally accomplished and say, because you bougie because you became something successful. Not because I don't want to go back to the hood because I'm bougie. I just don't go back to that type of lifestyle. I'm done with that. I moved on. So with that, along with a lot of people say a lot of black people are bougie. That's not it. A lot of people just done with that lifestyle. Just like Courtney said, some people come to your life for a season. So that's with that. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your input.
Wait.
Curtis.
Let me ask. Curtis.
Go ahead, Curtis.
Call.
Curtis has a comment
Curtis,
for you,
call.
Curtis.
Curtis, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So do you agree with me, or do you agree with Courtney, or do you understand where we're both coming from? I'm trying to figure
I
out.
understand where both of you coming from because
I'll get you.
I came from the hood,
Yeah.
but when my mother succeed and bought a mansion or just left the hood, everybody claimed, "Oh, y'all bougie, y'all think y'all better than people." No, it's not just that. It's just people want to succeed in life and move on. We don't want to be stuck in the ghetto all the time.
Amen. The ghetto ain't fun.
No.
It can't be, but it's not for everyone.
He said it's not for everyone.
I appreciate what Curtis from Chicago.
Yes.
Decide.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Not
it
valid.
Well. No, I appreciate it well.
You,
But the thing is that he's right. People do evolve. You know, people evolve.
Right.
People evolve and people move on. But what makes you bougie is when you can no longer relate or you can no longer have a conversation with the common man.
Okay,
When
but I would like to
the
counter that because you are saying one thing, and I don't believe that your expression of it is the same. Because
it is because here's the thing.
Like you were laughing at Melanie and saying she's bougie. But I don't think her issue is that she cannot converse and deal. She couldn't relate to him. She just don't like that ish in her house.
No. Her issues with him is the fact that he licked or he half cleaned his
That's
his
anal
dirty.
retention.
Yeah,
that's
that's
nasty.
just-
Like
that's
that's
the
just
thing.
like
But she didn't see him lick it, but she saw that he half cleaned it. She said he half cleaned it. Hold on, let me finish. I'm gonna show you exactly the reason why I said she was bougie, right?
Well, Melanie, I had a situation too. My uncles are, not successful. They are, still in together.
Mm-hmm.
So when they come to my mother's house and eat off anything or fend off my mother, it's like, and then they act like we don't talk to them, we associate with them. Y'all ignorant. If we ever try to go back to the hood, act professional or talk intellectually, they feel like, oh, you think you're too good, you can't talk the hood slang, you can't do that. No, it's just people don't want to go back to that.
Curtis from Chicago, thank you for your call. We definitely appreciate that. I wanted to ask you guys at the table one question. Okay, so Oprah Winfrey, for wherever she came from, and she has evolved, Curtis sitting on the panel. How about her, who maybe doesn't go back to her original growing up situation, but does a lot of amazing things? She's evolved, but she's is she considered bougie in that situation? Because she's not going back to the same neighborhood.
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
Oh, I hear you.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Because no, you don't.
But it's a good question, and I want to know.
You're not listening. I'm gonna say it to you guys slowly. Bougie.
Don't condescend
I
to me
know,
at the
right?
table. Turn your microphone off.
Yeah, his mic is about to get cut.
Okay, no, you want to hear it. You want to hear it. I'm
Okay,
saying
we're
to
letting
slowly.
you speak,
I'm saying
but
to you
everybody
slowly.
stay respectful.
Okay, and I'm saying to you slowly so you understand where I'm coming from. Just because you change your location and you get rich or you upgrade your living doesn't qualify you as being bougie. It's how you treat people that are less than you, which qualifies you as bougie. I've been saying this from the first start. If Oprah would become bougie is if she can no longer talk to people that are less than her, because she's like, I'm Oprah Winfrey and I'm a billionaire and I no longer can talk to a person that's homeless, or I no longer can relate to a girl that's been raped, or I can no longer relate to a woman that's been raped or is in a low income home or whatnot. She's not like that. Oprah's not like that. Oprah has given back to people that are less fortunate than her. It doesn't qualify her as bougie. She can actually sit down and break bread with someone who is from the hood and talk to them. She may talk to them on an intellectual level, but she still can talk to them.
Okay.
When you become bougie is when you no longer feel like that they have anything to offer or you can't offer them anything.
I'm sorry,
That's when you
but I'm
become
calling
bougie.
bullshit on that
Yeah.
because
I
I don't think that I think that. I think that what you're saying is all well and good, but I don't think it's actually applicable to what we're talking about, because I heard you use bougie in the freaking
That's
room.
what I'm telling you. That's the
about
reason
something
why she
else.
was bougie.
But she can't. But that doesn't. There was no indication of her not being able to break bread or have a conversation with the dude.
She didn't want
She
him
had
to-
a problem with the crap that he was doing in the house and the energy that he would be
Living
bringing,
there.
because obviously there's some history there that don't need to be there. And it's one of those things, like we've all said, once you've moved to a different place in life, you don't necessarily need everybody in your life that used to be in your life.
I agree with that,
because
but
people
that was
can bring you down and tear you down.
He
And if
wasn't-
you
he didn't do anything that was bringing her down. The fact that he put a fork,
no, the
that was
fact that
etiquette. That's
he
etiquette.
is if
That's
he is a
etiquette.
friend
Teach him.
in her husband,
That's
it's not
etiquette.
the issue with the knife was not about anything.
Well, I think the
other than her not
conversation
being able
could
to
go
clean up.
on for a long,
It
long time.
obviously could.
So comment and rate us on iTunes, and I believe we're going to get to some game news. But thank you for all having strong opinions. Whether someone's bougie or keeping it real, we all find out right here on the after show. So you guys are rocking it. I appreciate that. All right, let's do some news then.
News and gossip.
Gossip.
as usual, the ratings for the game this week held pretty strong. They went up a point to 1.3 in the adult 18 to 49 rating, and they're still in second place behind Tosh.0 for original programming in their time slot. So 2 weeks in a row, good for them. And the game alum, Miss Megan Good, had 2 pieces of huge news this week. First, she has a new gig alongside her co-star from Jumping the Broom, Laz Alonso. They are starring in NBC's pilot, Notorious, produced by Universal TV. And written by Liz Heldens, the show is based on Detective Joanna LaCosta, who Megan will be playing, who returns undercover to the wealthy and troubled Lawson family she grew up in, which didn't make sense at all to me. How are you undercover to the family that you used to live with? But maybe that was a typo in the whatever, but Laz will play an NYPD detective who recruits Megan to infiltrate the Lawson home. So maybe it's like, what was that show with Undercovers? So they got the 2 brown folks doing undercover work again, and we'll see how that works out. And it's on NBC again. So
you tipped them off. You tipped the viewer.
Maybe they'll try. But and secondly, Miss Megan Good, congratulations. She is now engaged to producer and preacher Devon Franklin. She has been dating Devon Franklin for several months now. He is a Sony Pictures executive and one of the producers of T.G. Jake's 2011 film Jumping the Broom, and which Megan starred in, and that's where they met and fell in love, and now a few months later they're about to get married.
Very good.
Congratulations to her. And this week in exciting brown people news.
Brown people news.
As we wait for our bumper. It was kind of light this week, and it kind of, I was like texting Isabel, like, it's kind of sad that it was this challenging for me to find brown people news. But anyway.
Are you surprised?
I mean, I'm not, it's not about being surprised,
but she's been able to come up with something.
But that's the thing. I read a lot, and I read a lot online, and it was shocking how long it took me to find something. Yes, I can read.
That's
can you believe that? I know I'm so bougie, though. I grew up in the suburbs.
There you go.
I don't know nothing about the hood. Anyway, according to The Hollywood Reporter, actress Rosario Dawson is teaming up with Gail Ann Hurd, an executive producer for AMC's Golden Globe-nominated series The Walking Dead, to bring her own graphic novel, OCT, aka Occult Crimes Task Force, to the small screen. The project, which is being developed by the A&E Network with Dawson and Hurd as co-executive producers, will follow a group of investigators who patrol a district of New York populated by practitioners of black magic. Like the graphic novel, co-created by Dawson, David Atchison, and Tony Shestine, OCT will center on the character of Sophia Ortiz, a new member of the Bureau who uses magic, spells, ghosts, the undead, and the unnatural. Although the project is still in the early stages of development, Dawson is being considered for the role of Sophia.
Okay, that's news to me. I didn't know she was...
I didn't know she had a graphic novel. I didn't know none of this. And it's kind of sound crazy, but it sounds like it'll be creatively interesting.
Not that it matters. What is her ethnicity?
She's Cuban and Puerto Rican.
Okay. She's not... No, she has no African-American in her.
Not that I'm aware of. I'm pretty sure she's Puerto Rican and Cuban. So,
well,
yeah.
That is a little...
She's a brown person.
It's a little African-American.
No,
a little African in the Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican, yeah, of course.
And Cuban.
Possibly.
It's the middle passage.
Depends on. You never know. That's where they dropped him off.
Yeah.
All right, and for those of you, I know that sounded cold. Whatever. It is. That's where they dropped off to start off with. Yeah. Anyway, don't forget to watch this Thursday. Kerry Washington stars in Scandal, starting on Thursday after Grey's Anatomy. Watch the show. I'm excited about it. We're going to...
Okay, I'm happy that she's on a show, and I think that's great. It just doesn't look interesting.
I was gonna say okay, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to. I think the plot is really interesting, but I don't buy her as an ass kicker like that.
Right.
And that's my problem with it.
Goody.
Yeah, she's
a goody. She's a little bit softer, and she has had some like edginess with her, but it's usually sexual edginess.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not really buying her as the boss lady.
It seems like I've heard more people talk about I want to see Kerry Washington's new project versus like the storyline of what Scandal actually is. So there's more Kerry Washington fans than this.
Yeah, I mean,
show.
we're excited that she's the star of a freaking primetime show. So I think it's amazing.
But I want her to get like leading movie roles. Like I think she's capable of.
I'm actually happy that Megan Good finally has a lead role in something as well. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, y'all don't like Megan Good. But
I do like her. I think she's adorable.
Yeah.
I thought she was great when she was a kid.
I think she's gorgeous. She's
about to get married.
She's a very nice.
Shocking her.
No,
anyway,
she's a nice girl.
That is our game TV news and gossip for this week.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
And now we're gonna predict. I don't know what's gonna happen next week.
We'll be here next Tuesday.
Start, Curtis.
I have to start it?
Yeah, sure. Why not? You're wearing blue.
Plus, you're at the bottom. We're bougie.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
We're above you.
I'm a feel. I'm a
And you're the
feel
darkest.
I'm a feel ninja.
Negro.
Yeah, I'm real. My prediction is that I don't have a prediction.
Okay, your scandalous master next
I
week.
think next week we're gonna see some football field.
It's about time.
I know, right?
What
I
you got,
agree.
Kenny?
I agree with Isabel. Some football drama.
Oh, because you saw the
game.
previews.
I didn't see the whole thing.
It's the previews.
True, it's the previews, but can I just say, based on the preview, thank God they're finally making that random dude that's the new quarterback have
Yes.
a point. We saw him once in like the second episode. Don't even remember his name. Don't even care. I hope it's some real drama, and I hope
And
it's
they get
good
him.
drama.
Yeah, I predict they're going to be fighting.
I want a real fight. I want some
We're gonna go
goodness.
off the
Anyway,
previews.
Blood.
that's going to do it for this week. AfterBuzz TV The Game. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you check us out at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter. You can find Kenny at some weird name, and you can find myself at Stewart Starlet. Do the iTunes comments. Make sure you're binging and voting for Maria Menounos on Dancing with the Stars. And next week, we'll catch you. Have a great week.
Guess who's Bazak?
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Brown
Oh,
People
you are
Edition.
actually right.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.